Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we get an update from the Quincy Animal Shelter. President Sandra Sines is here along with volunteer Blake Hopkins. We'll find out what's going on and what's coming up and also learn about the current pet situation at the new Animal Care Center. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, we have sunshine out there. It's 79 degrees. Nice day today, mix of sun and clouds. Comfortable with temperatures in the low 80s this afternoon. Another cool night tonight under clear skies. Lows tonight drop off into the upper 50s. Really a pretty nice forecast. The weekend looks just great. Tomorrow, I think, is the better of the 2 days with lots of sunshine, still low humidity and pleasant temperatures right around 80. A little warmer, a little more humid on Sunday, but still nice with highs in the mid 80s. Then we really start to heat things up here on Monday, turning hot and humid at the high near 90. Looks like we're into the low 90s next week. Could be a potential for a heat wave by the middle of next week. But right now, sunshine, 79 degrees here in Quincy. Checking out the news for you today. The Quincy residents who are trying to stop the city from installing statues of St. Michael and St. Florian at the entrance to the new police station that's being built on C Street want a judge to stop the statue installation until the lawsuit is settled. Now, the group this past week did request a preliminary injunction be granted by the Norfolk Superior Court while the case makes its way through the court system. The group of 15 residents argue that the statues violate the constitutional separation of church and state. The city maintains that the statues are the patron saints of police officers and firefighters and are not religious symbols. The city is arguing against the preliminary injunction and wants the entire case dismissed. The next court date is set for August 19th. The new building is slated for completion in October. The expansion of the Pine Hill Cemetery in West Quincy is running behind schedule. Mayor Thomas Koch says the bulk of the work is done. However, the expansion of the Veterans section is still a work in progress.
It's a little behind schedule, but it's wrapping up. I mean, the big stuff is all done. If you're looking at the Veterans section, there's a pretty big wall that was put in to hold back, retention wall, but made beautiful with a stone veneer behind the Veterans section. That has to be finished up. I don't know if all the final paving is finished. The touch up here and there, but the vast majority of the work is done for sure. Okay. And again, I heard nothing but positive comments from people. Pine Hill was okay at best before. Its condition, its look, the aesthetics, the greenery, it was just okay. And the roads were in bad shape, a lot of dying trees. So what a different look. I mean, I've heard from people that hadn't been there in a couple of years to visit a loved one, and they were blown away by the change. So, I think it's important we honor those that went before us. And, of course, in this project, we picked up several thousand new graves, which over time will more than pay for itself.
The project is adding 7.5 acres, which will create 13,600 new grave sites. The project includes new roads, walkways, parking areas, and landscaping. Plots are being sold on a pre-need basis, cost about $5,000. Cremation niches are also for sale for $2,000. The entire project cost $16.4 million. A completion date is still not clear. Now, recently, a group of about 40 teens in grades 6 through 10 from all over the state, including Quincy, participated in Fontbonne Academy's summer theater program in Milton. The teens took the stage last week in a full-scale production of Annie Jr. in just 2 weeks as part of an intense summer theater camp. The director, Fiona McDonald, says the students earned skills that will last them a lifetime.
Definitely increasing their confidence. I've had so many parents tell me after this program that they have just seen their children's confidence just skyrocket, and that they are interested in pursuing theater at their own schools during the year. They want to be in their shows, at their schools. They want to, study this even outside. Some of our older students, going into 10th grade, they're starting to think about college, and some of them, even want to study theater. And so we want them to really grow in their confidence, grow in their theater skills, acting, singing, dancing, and really foster that teamwork and friendship.
The students had only a few days to rehearse, learn their lines, and learn the choreography before taking the stage for a one-day performance. Students who were interested could also learn about technical production, set design, and prop making. The Thomas Crane Public Library in Quincy Center is now offering 1-hour wedding ceremonies. For $200, couples can get married in the historic Richardson building of the main library on Washington Street in Quincy Center. 12 guests will be allowed, and the library will provide 12 chairs, 6 gold pedestal Io flower arrangements, and 2 floor-standing flower plants. Not allowed will be food and beverages, live music, decorations, additional furniture, animals, or signs. The library will not provide an officiant, and the couple can provide one photographer. The library also does not provide marriage certificates or licenses. The ceremonies are only allowed on certain days, at certain times. They must be booked at least 14 days in advance. The Norfolk County Sheriff's Office and the Sharon Police Department are teaming up once again to host their popular free Summer Safety Fest at Crescent Ridge Dairy in Sharon tomorrow. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will feature interactive displays. There'll be a canine demonstration, safety information, and the popular Touch a Truck events with police vehicles, fire trucks, and other emergency vehicles. Sheriff Pat McDermott says the event is a great opportunity for people to meet public safety officials and learn more about the resources available. There will also be free hamburgers and hot dogs and, of course, ice cream for sale. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, we learn what's new at the Quincy Animal Shelter. That's next. Welcome back. The last time we had the Quincy Animal Shelter here on the program, they brought puppies with them. President Sandra Saenz is here with not a puppy this time, Sandra, but a volunteer. Yes. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Oh, you too. Good morning.
Good morning. And Blake Hopkins, thanks for coming. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing your story too and your involvement with the shelter. But before we get there, Sandra, how are things going in the new Animal Care Center now, right off Quarry Street?
Yeah. Things are going really, really well. Yeah. We're so excited to be in the new space.
I bet.
Yeah.
What's the best thing about it?
I think the space. It's really good for the animals. There's just lots of room for the dogs. One of the best features for the dogs is that they have the ability to go in and out anytime they want. We have beautiful play yards for them. And for the cat space, we just have the ability to handle more cats, but also we have open play areas so we can introduce cats to each other, which helps us better gauge if a cat can go to a house that already has cats or not. So, I mean, there's a lot. We have the surgical suite, as well, which we hope to open at the end of the month.
Okay. I know there's a public space as well, like a community space, a meeting room in the shelter as well.
Yeah, we've been using that a lot.
Have you been using it?
Yep.
What have you been using it for?
Well, about 6 weeks ago, we hosted the Chamber of Commerce Coffee Hour, which was a really nice event. Yeah. We have our meetings there. We can do a little bit of dog training in that room. Yeah, it's a really nice space, and we hope to use it for more small fundraising events as well.
Excellent, yeah. And I know it's a great added boon for the volunteers to have a place to go, right? And just have there's a little kitchen in there, kitchenette, if you will, a place to sit, relax.
Yeah, it's a great space.
And mingle as they're volunteering. And now a pet food bank as well?
Yes, so Brett Hale, who is the building manager through the city, has developed a really great food bank for anyone who is in need of dog food or cat food, and she's even putting together some other supplies as well. So if someone is in need, they can contact Brett. She has her own web page that you can access through the City of Quincy website, and you can get all the details on that. And it's really been a big help for people who are struggling to feed their animals.
Yeah, pet food is just as expensive, if not more so,
Yes,
than
it really
people
is.
food in some cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she'll accept donations, I'm assuming,
Yes,
as well, if
yep.
folks want to donate to the
Yeah.
food bank. So great, excellent. And one of the biggest boons is you have expanded hours now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are now open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 4.
That's fantastic,
So
yeah.
I'm glad you asked, because that has been really great. We have people coming in every day.
I'm sure,
And
yeah.
we are very happy to give you a tour of the entire facility if you come in and get to know us.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be ready to adopt
Yeah.
an animal. You can
Yeah.
just come in and look at the animals and see the facility. You can also drop off donations.
Yep.
So we're really happy about being open so much. It's
Yeah.
much better, helps the adoptions move a little faster.
I would think, right?
Yeah,
I was just
so
going to
it's good.
ask if that has improved,
Yeah.
since you've been able to
Definitely.
open more. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you seeing an increase in intake as well? Are you having?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
really are?
the phone rings every day.
Is that right? Yeah.
So Quincy residents have always been a priority.
Certainly.
When they need to give up a dog or a cat.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
Right.
no judgment. If you have to come in and do it, we'll set up an appointment for you.
Okay.
It's always better to have an appointment because there's information that we need. And then if we have space, other surrounding cities and towns are welcome. But it's sad because there is a lot of people who have to give up their pets for a variety of reasons, and we've definitely seen an increase.
Is that right? Yeah. Financial, personal, family situations.
Yeah,
all
definitely
kinds of things.
financial,
Yeah.
time, having a pet is a big responsibility, and we're seeing an increase with the dogs. A lot of people think it's because of COVID. That I think that was definitely true for a while, but I really do think that it's more time and the economy. It's hard to have extra mouths to feed when things are tough, and
Yeah.
vet costs, training costs, all of that play into it.
Absolutely. Now you also have the police department's canine unit there. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So how's
Yes.
that working out?
Oh, it's working fine. I
Okay.
mean, we don't have access to the dogs at all, but when you do get to see one, I mean,
Yeah.
I just love them. It's a
Yeah.
thing of beauty. They're such beautiful animals, and so they're right next door.
Yep. But
and
it
the
is
police are there a
cordoned
lot.
off. It's separate. They have their own
Yep.
garage, I know,
Yep.
in the back, and it's
Yep.
well managed
Yeah.
as well. And the animal control officer as well, right?
Right.
Same building too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have Nick Malvesti
Yep.
is the animal control officer, and he is a very busy guy. Right now, we are caring for a ball python
Really?
named Monty Python.
Of course.
And, so I have nothing to do with the snake. We have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
But we wish him well, and we hope we can find him a home.
Absolutely, yes, and we'll leave it at that.
Right.
Okay. But none of this would happen at the shelter without your volunteers.
Right.
Of 100 plus, right?
Right. About 135 right
Wow.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So we've had a lot of interest in people coming to volunteer at the new shelter,
Yeah.
and we are adding, to the volunteer staff. Right now, it's a little slow. We're still trying to get our footing.
Summer.
And figure out,
Yeah.
how many people we actually need. But we're definitely increasing, by about, hope to add another 30 volunteers.
Okay.
On dogs and cats.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. One of them you brought with you today.
Yes, we did.
Blake Hopkins,
Yeah.
nice to meet you, Blake. Thanks
Good
for
to meet
coming
you.
over. Tell me about how you got involved with the animal shelter.
So I just thought about doing volunteering at the animal shelter just for a long time, and then one day, Katie just said, "Hey, why don't you just do it?" And one thing led to another, and you put in an application, and then you just find a time you can fit your schedule and you go. I've been doing it for coming up on 5 years now. I've told people plenty that obviously I'm a volunteer. I'm not paid to do this, but I would pay to do this. I absolutely love doing it.
Really?
It is a very, very rewarding feeling. It's a lot of fun. I tell people, you know that feeling of walking into your home and your dog just runs to the door. Every week I experience that with however many dogs we've got. They
Yeah.
all run up like, hey, human, come pet me, play with me, give me treats, walk me, and I'm more than happy to oblige.
Do you have your own pets?
I don't. That's
Oh.
part of the reason why I do this. The place we're living now doesn't allow pets, which is little bit of a bummer. But you get your animal fix.
Get your fix.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on the dog team, and you can always walk over and just pet a cat too, because
Sure.
cats are also fantastic.
So you actually started at the old Broad Street shelter.
I was there for about 6 months, and then
Okay.
we moved over to the Corey Street. And
Yeah.
then, sorry, we're now Corey Street. The last one. Where was the last one?
So
East Quantum.
East Quantum
Swan,
Street.
there you go.
Yeah.
Now I've been learning along with everybody else on the new facility, but it's a great facility. It's really got a lot of new capabilities, especially the surgical unit. When we get that up and running, that'll be a huge money saver for us in the future.
I would think so, yeah, and also convenient for people who want to adopt, right, to have the services done right
Correct.
there as well.
Correct. Yes, sir.
That's great. It doesn't happen without funds.
That is true.
Donations.
Yep.
It's completely volunteer driven here.
That is correct. So one of the things that I've told I've been there long enough that the new volunteers come in, they'll ask you old volunteers questions. My personal niche is I like to get involved in events and fundraising.
Okay.
I am not the world's greatest dog behaviorist. We have people who are way better at that than me. I love dogs, but I'm not going to be able to be much of a trainer. But what I do well is I run events.
Okay.
So about 3 years ago, the head of events at one of our meetings stood up and said, "Who wants to do something for the shelter?" And I just raised my hand saying, "Hey, I'd like to do a couple different things." And one of them is a charity golf tournament. And so we had our first charity golf tournament at Granite Links here in Quincy last year on October 21st. It was a great success. Granite Links is an absolutely fantastic partner. It's a great course. We had perfect weather, and they were very, very helpful, responsive, A to Z. It was a great day. We raised a lot of money for the shelter, and it was so successful, we're coming back and doing it again this year.
Okay.
October 20th.
October 20th, second annual charity golf tournament at Granite Links.
Yes, sir.
What's going to be happening that day?
So that's we tee off at 11 o'clock. It's a shotgun start for those of you who are golfers. Everyone's tees off at the same time. You play 18 holes, and then you come back afterwards. We're going to have a cash bar with auction items, raffle items, 50-50 raffle. There's going to be a full dinner. There's going to be the whole works, whole kit and caboodle. The Bruce Ayers, who just was on the commercial just a little while ago, he's going to be joining us. He'll give a little speech while we were there as well. So get a little bit of local politics, and it should be a great time. Last year we had 144 golfers,
Nice.
Completely filled out the field. Right now we've got about 40-ish.
Okay.
So there's still time if you want to come out and have a good day of golf and enjoy support the shelter. Love to have you.
And miss a Monday at work?
And
too?
miss a Monday at work. That's half the reason to go, right?
Can you talk about some of the auction items that would be
Yeah,
available?
so we've actually gotten some pretty good ones. So the neat thing about being a part of the shelter the size that we have, we've got a lot of different people who have a lot of different niches. One of the things that we've got is we've got a donation of a 5-day stay in Ireland, on the west coast of Ireland. It's like a Huntman's Lodge. That's going to be available for auction at the event. We've also got a trip down to Panama. Or I should back that up, correct myself. Then we have a stay in Panama. Neither of those include airfare, but
Okay.
you can bid on it, and then as long as you want to get yourself there and back, it's a great excuse to go to a different country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a lot of local artists who are giving their
Very
wares.
nice.
Last year we had a pig sculpture that was made out of an industrial spring that I now know was like a huge hit. A lot of people
Really?
wanted it. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to see if we can have that come back this year, which would be pretty fun.
All right.
But yeah, it should be a great time. We raised a lot of money last year.
About
We're
how
on
much?
track.
Do you remember how much?
I do. So we netted out $32,000.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, for the shelter. So and anytime we're ever able to give a couple more, because to your point, we gotta pay the bills somehow, and that's one of the main ways we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm assuming there's still time.
Yes, sir.
Obviously to get in on this, but also to make donations.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So if you go to the website QASCharityGolfTournament.org, it's at the bottom there of the flyer. You can make donations. You can become a sponsor. If you are a business owner and you would like to partner with us to become a sponsor, we'd absolutely love to talk to you.
Okay.
We've already had a lot of great sponsorships. We've already got a lot of really good sponsors. Fortunately, the Hale family, Granite Communications,
Sure.
they've become our title sponsor, and we very much appreciate them.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's just hope the weather cooperates on that day.
Here's hoping. That's the only thing I can't control, but please.
Yeah. Rain or shine, I'm assuming. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We make it happen. That's exactly right.
Yeah, okay. It's all for a good cause, certainly. Sandra, do the funds raised at this go to any particular area at the shelter, or is this just kind of general?
All of the
operating?
funds go into our general
Yeah.
operating fun.
Yes.
So, one of the things that I like to mention, we have an absolutely beautiful new building, which we're extremely grateful for. But just like everything else, our operating costs are through the roof.
Yeah.
So we don't, other than the building, we don't get any funding from the state
Right.
or government. So everything that we do comes from donations.
Yeah.
And even we lose money on every adoption. Like
Yeah.
one thing that a lot of people don't understand, they say, oh my God, $500 to adopt a puppy. Well, we've probably spent $700 or $800
Of course,
on
yeah.
spay, neuter, shots, microchip.
Yeah.
So we're always losing, on the adoption end, so we have to make up for it with all of our fundraising
Yeah,
events.
well, that same dog in a private setting would be
Right.
over $2,000.
Exactly.
Right. So
Exactly.
when you compare it,
Right.
you're getting quite a bargain
Right.
for sure. Absolutely. Now, there's another event that we want to talk about too before the golf tournament, right? That's coming
Yes, sir.
up. Yeah.
It's happening on August 22nd over at Cagney's Pub on Washington Street.
Yeah.
We're running a trivia night just to raise money for the shelter. We've got a little bit of money to come out and have some fun.
Yeah.
It's obviously much smaller scale.
Sure.
But it should be a good time all the same. There's still tickets available for that. QuincyAnimalShelter.com/trivia night. So,
Okay.
Or just Google it. Just Google trivia night.
Okay. And Sandra, you want to talk about your cornhole tournament?
Oh yeah. So this is our third annual cornhole tournament,
Okay.
and this is a lot of fun. We had, great weather last year.
Yeah.
There are raffles. You can buy QAS wear. So there's all kinds of Quincy Animal Shelter stuff going on. Ways to support beer and food trucks. But the other part is the cornhole tournament itself. So
Okay.
that is incredibly popular. You can sign up as a team to play cornhole, or you can just come and hang out. And dogs are welcome.
Oh, all right.
Well-behaved dogs are always welcome. It is just a great, fun, really laid-back event, and it's been, growing each year. So we're really hoping that people can come out again.
It's amazing. Such a simple thing like cornhole, and
Yeah.
people have created entire events around it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. This is-
I don't play cornhole. I can't
But
see
anybody
the hole.
can. That's the-
Right,
that's
but
the great
it's,
thing about it. Anybody can
I
try
like
it.
watching people. They have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's highly competitive, so
Yes.
it's good.
Saturday, October 11th,
Yep.
from noon to 4 at Braintree Beer Garden, where is that?
I think it's on Washington Street in Braintree.
Okay.
Braintree,
Yeah.
Just look it up.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
ask me. I've gotten lost the last 2 years trying to get there. So
well, it's a long street.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it's a great venue.
Okay, all right, very good. So lots going on. Now, before we run out of time, we do want to talk about Bella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about Bella.
So Bella is going to be 9, and we are going to have a big birthday party for her on the roof of the Quincy Animal Shelter at 99 Quarry Street.
Which, by the way, is a beautiful park-like
Right,
setting with
right.
benches
It's
and
called the
greenery.
Green Roof, and so we're going to celebrate her birthday because poor Bella has
Yeah.
been at the shelter since last November.
Almost a year?
Yes,
Wow.
and I can't say it enough. Like I took Bella in, and when you see a beautiful chocolate lab, a highly sought after breed,
Yeah.
especially around these parts in the South Shore, if you ever asked me if we would be talking about her in August, trying to find her a home, I would just be flabbergasted.
Right.
I mean, she is a lovely dog.
Yeah.
She loves people.
She's a sweetheart.
She's an absolute sweetheart. Her only flaw is that she has to be the only pet. She doesn't care for other animals.
Okay.
And I can say this, I know some people get overwhelmed by that. I had a dog like that for 15 years.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. It's worth it. She's a really fantastic dog. She loves people, loves attention. She's been in foster care with Emily Duff.
Yeah, we saw a picture of her there, yeah.
Yes, and Emily reports that she's one of the easiest house guests
Yeah.
ever. The only thing that we need, for a new home is that the people understand that she can't go to a dog park, she can't go to doggy daycare or anything like that. You just have to, allow her to live in your home.
She has to be an only child.
And she's going to be 9, so we're going to have a big birthday bash for her on Saturday, the 16th, right at the shelter at
Okay.
11 a.m. So you can come, meet Bella. She's been a queen the whole time we've had her. She's been to the Free Jacks games. She's a celebrity.
So people find
in her
dogs, not
own
so
right,
much.
Right. People really, really love her. So everyone's welcome to come to the birthday party, but please don't bring your dog, because Bella needs to be the princess all day long.
Good to
And,
know. Yeah.
But, you know, if you have room in your home and
Yeah.
a place in your heart, you know, we really need some. We're not giving up on Bella. We're not.
Yeah.
So
you're
she
right.
needs to find a great home.
It's such a popular breed, and
Right,
you know, it's
right.
such a great family dog
Yeah.
that it's hard
Yeah.
to. Maybe she's meant to be with Emily.
Maybe.
She's going to fail fostering.
Right.
Okay, so we're trying to find a home for Bella.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're trying to get folks to take part in the golf tournament.
Yes, sir.
And the cornhole tournaments.
Yep.
And the event at Cagney's too
Yes,
coming
sir.
up.
Right.
All right.
August
Yeah.
22nd.
Anything else we should let folks know about right now?
Yeah.
I think
That's about it?
for now.
Reach out, give a call, check the website, social media, all over the place.
Oh,
I'm guessing?
absolutely.
Okay.
Got any questions? golf@quincyanimalshelter.org is my email address. You can email address, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Okay, great. Sandra, great to see you
Yeah.
as always. Blake, nice to meet you. Please
Absolutely.
come back.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Great to get out and walk the dog, actually. Lots of sunshine, low humidity, mild temperatures in the low 80s this afternoon. Open the windows again tonight, lower 50s in some locations. Really nice tomorrow, too, with abundant sunshine. The humidity remains in check with tomorrow's highs in the low 80s. Starting to get a little more hot and humid here on Sunday. It is August after all, mid-80s. I think we're looking at a heat wave probably by the middle of next week, so be prepared for that. Meantime, special thanks going out to Sandra Sines and Blake Hopkins for joining us from the Quincy Animal Shelter.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you
Thank
to our
you.
crew. Thank you for watching. And Monday here on the program, we'll welcome the folks from Quincy Asian Resources because the annual August Moon Festival is coming up later this month. We'll get all the details. Meantime, please check our website anytime. It's qatv.org. All of our programs are there. There's news, information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.